Welcome to the Overguard podcast. This is your commissioner, Brett. I am hosting the podcast along with my co-host, Mike.
Hey guys, this is Mike, otherwise known as Killer Khan.
This is going to be the first episode of a hopefully weekly podcast that we're going to be doing here at the Overguard. We've had some interest shown from some of the community. Mike and I immediately jumped on it. I think we've both been wanting to do it for a while now. So
Definitely.
when the opportunity presented itself, we decided we were going to give it a go. This week's going to be a little bit sloppier than usual. Not sloppy. We don't have necessarily the audio quality we were expecting to get, but we're going to give it a go that we have for right now. We don't have an interview for tonight, which is fine. We're going to have a lot of those in the future. And
Definitely.
I'm naming all the things we don't have right off the rip. This is probably a bad start, huh, Mike? And we don't have one last thing. What don't we have right now? Oh, a name. We don't have a name yet. We're working on a name. So
We're working on it. It's all right. It's a work in progress.
absolutely. I think we came up with the idea 3 days ago, and here we are recording one Tuesday
Exactly.
night to get it out to you guys so you guys can listen to us. So these podcasts are going to be 20 to 30 minutes, depending on how long Mike wants to talk to me every week.
Yeah, we'll see how long I can put up with Brett.
We're going to be going into detail about a few different things every week. Basically, both sides of our competitive Overwatch League, the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox side. We're going to talk about the Premier Leagues and the Overguard console circuit. Kind of keep you guys up to date on any changes we have there. We're going to be talking about the power rankings that Brett, put out every week. Hopefully there will be more to come. We have some ready to be discussed tonight. We're going to be talking about our events that are coming out, maybe some news with Blizzard. And did I leave anything out, Mike?
No, I think that's about it.
Cool. Then why don't we just get right into it for tonight and start right with our some of our PlayStation 4 team news. So if you guys don't know, really quick actually, while we're still kind of doing these introductions, Mike is over on the Xbox side of things.
Yes.
Reinhardt man on the Xbox, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Reinhardt is where to be. That German power.
I've been actually playing a lot of Reinhardt on PlayStation lately because nobody wants to play him in comp. So I know the feel. Probably don't have anywhere near as many hours as you, but
Yeah, I think I took a break from Overwatch a little bit a while back, but I think I'm nearing like 80 hours or something. So
that's probably about 75 hours more than me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
definitely a Reinhardt main. So anyways, when we're talking about PlayStation stuff, Mike watches most of the streams because he does things in the background. You captains will recognize him from sending you guys the OW draft links, messing up who picks which side, and
Exactly.
and getting on you guys about getting back in the lobby so he knows who wants what. So when it comes to PlayStation, besides that, he's kind of got more of a feel for the Xbox side. So when we're talking PlayStation, I'll probably be driving that. When we're talking Xbox, you'll hear a lot more of Mike's opinions there. Anyways, on to the PlayStation news recently.
What do you got?
We've had a lot of roster changes, Mike. We didn't plan on opening rosters here, but with the hurricane last weekend, we decided, we were going to open them because if the teams aren't playing for a week and a half, why make them sit?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, give them the opportunity
Exactly.
to mess things, mix things up. So, a lot of changes, though. A lot of changes. I don't know if there's anything I can officially state, but I do know 100% One Mind is almost reworking their entire roster.
Oh boy.
One Mind is a team, for any of you that don't know, that's got, they're right in the middle of that playoff hunt. I think they've flopped between 7, 8, and 9 a few times. They just lost an off-stream matchup to Poison Bins, which is a matchup they did not want to lose. Because I think that puts them in a tie for 8th.
Oh boy.
And now Poison Bins
Poison
Bins owns the tiebreaker. So they made a big roster overhaul. And this all happened because their Reinhardt main, Die Clan Crush, decided he wanted to captain his own team, dropped out of the Premier League, formed a team in the OGCC, and they are now, I think, 2-1. They're a very talented team. Some very big names. You can actually see their roster on our forums. Have you seen Daiklan play at all, Mike?
I'm thinking back to it. I think I might have seen them play. I've seen them talking a lot before about some of their, but I'm pretty sure I've seen them play.
Yeah, he's one of the more aggressive Reinhardts I'd say we have in the league. Very good Reinhardt. And him leaving One Mind was huge. That was pretty big news. I know for a fact they have a few players that they're trying out. They're finalizing that roster. They have very good DPS on that team, so that's a big change because I think something that we've seen is the teams that have been steady with their rosters throughout the season are climbing to the top, and the teams that have been making changes almost every open roster period are kind of sinking to the bottom. So
yeah, you can't keep breaking up that team composition, man. You got to keep that together. That's the only way. Makes perfect with the same team.
Absolutely, the chemistry,
subs, all that.
Chemistry is huge. Other team news. I also don't know if I can say official names, but REM, a team that's currently top 4 or 5 in the standings, is bringing back some familiar faces.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so I mean, if that's not a big enough hint to the people that know REM's roster, there's been some changes. They didn't like the changes, from what I've heard, and they're looking at undoing the changes, which is probably maybe the smartest thing you could do, because when you're a successful team, why change things? I don't think it was really a change by choice. I think some things happened. They're resolving it, and I'm happy for them getting it figured out.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it,
exactly,
right?
Exactly. Captain King Pluto / Shadowhunter might kill me for giving away the tidbits I gave away right now, but I'll deal with that. That later. Very good team, and I'm happy that they got it figured out again because I really like the guys there. They do a good job. Like all the guys, don't get me wrong. It kind of sounded bad, but
no, yeah, they're a top 4 team. They definitely
for sure.
They know what they're doing.
Yes, exactly. And as far as other roster news besides that, just some small things down on the bottom, which doesn't change the importance of it, but I do know that Team Rebel has finally found their final starting 6. I don't have names for that either, but if anyone scrimmed them, I think you have a decent idea of who they are. They got it figured out now. Team Rebel's a team that new captain came in, inherited a bad record. They've lost 3 games in a row since inheriting that bad record, but they've been much closer games than what was happening before the change. And I think they're really looking at powering up and trying to fight through the gauntlet at the end of the season and get back into the Premier League.
Take some time to turn it around.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's enough for PlayStation. Honestly, peanuts compared to what we have on the Xbox side going down right now. And this is somewhere where you obviously know a bit more of these players. You know these teams a little bit more. So these are unofficial.
Very unofficial.
But I think it was Sunday night probably around this time, around like 10, 11 p.m. Support for Incarnate, Erica posted in the Discord free agents that she was now a free agent. She was looking for a team. And I think this really...
This shook up the chat, man.
Yeah.
This is I'm surprised in it.
She dropped some really juicy information for everybody. And I saw that I almost had to mute the chat because it wasn't free agent posts anymore. It was people asking what was going on.
Exactly. Yeah.
When I got more information about it, it turned out wonderful. I think he was a flex player for their team. I think he was he number 1 in skill rating in Xbox competitive season 1? Do you know?
I don't know for sure. I can't confirm that.
Right. Well, I think he had to have at least been top 10 because I think he had a 90 skill rating. I think it was 90.
He was something crazy like that.
Anyways, a very talented flex. Played his multiple positions for the team. Very hard to replace. He decided when Gears 4 came out, that was more his game. He was getting bored of Overwatch. And not throwing any shade. If you like a different game better, it's a video game, right? You should be playing the one you're enjoying.
And more power to him if that's what he feels is he's more comfortable.
Absolutely, and he decided to switch over. So now their incarnates left with that hole. And so what they decided to do was to break up and try to reform some teams. Uh, and what I have been informed, I'm not going to throw any names under the bus. I'm not going to say this is official, but there's two teams now. And a lot of these names are names that most of you Xbox people will probably recognize. I bet a lot of PlayStation people recognize it too. Uh, so one team is now Tenza, Emmett Payne, Satisfies, Styles, Bella XO, and Arctos. And the other team is Yuna, March Effect, Erica, Nitro FPS, Zyro, and Killick. Um,
Some good names there.
two stacked teams. Basically,
Yeah.
what it looks like happened to me is Incarnate broke up, and they said, "Hey, Equinox, Solar, or whatever that team, Zero. I don't even know what they're called. They've had so many different names since they've joined the
Yeah, I
league.
know. Oh man, it's crazy with the name changes.
It really is. And they said, let's just make two teams. So they just shuffled the players around, figured out who could play what, and now we have these two teams.
I
Exciting
think that's a
stuff.
smart idea.
Exciting stuff. Because
Oh yeah.
not only does it keep top players in the league, I think everybody knew Incarnate was a few steps ahead of most of the teams.
Oh, of course. Yeah, they definitely divvied up the skill a little bit too.
Exactly.
So now you got two very good teams instead of
You actually cut out there two very good teams instead of
one unstoppable team.
exactly. So it definitely like levels the playing field a little bit. I'm looking forward to seeing how those two teams play against each other. I'm not sure if we're going to get to see them until league play, or if we might get a chance to see them in maybe a tournament or a scrim or something on stream. I'm excited.
I'm hoping. Yeah. I want to see. I want to see what's gonna happen. I want to see what they have to offer.
Exactly. I'd love to see where the talent stacks, which team has the upper hand immediately. Big names though. It's such a big switch, and all that chemistry that Incarnate has been building up. It's just.
Oh yeah.
It's gone now.
Yeah. So that's why. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say. I want to see how that to affect like the big names that I'm hearing on either team. So I really hope that they bring some at least some scrims or something into a tournament early on, just so I can see where what the direction each team's going in.
Exactly. Because one team might start to play more than the other, and next thing you know, and I think the other teams in the league, the other teams that are qualifying or attempting to qualify, this kind of catches them up too, because I think you're crazy if you think that making a roster change this significant isn't going to set you back a little bit.
Oh yeah, it's definitely sending ripples throughout everywhere.
Yeah,
I mean, it wasn't a small change that wasn't known. You know what I mean? So everyone knows what's going on. Will know what's going on eventually. So there'll definitely be some change-ups coming from other teams as well because of it.
Exactly. I'm excited to see it. I wish both teams the best, and I really hope that moving forward they can all be super successful, because it's a huge change. It's really big news. It's partly why I wanted to get this podcast out this week, because I really wanted to talk about it. So
yeah, of course. I definitely I want to see what's going to happen with these two teams. I'm excited too.
Exactly. So I think really quick now we'll fly through just last week's power rankings. We don't have this week's because we didn't have PlayStation matches. Once we have the Xbox League up and running, we'll be hitting both of the power rankings.
Definitely.
I don't think we need to go all the way from top to bottom. I think we can kind of talk about some key points. You can point out some teams to me, and I can kind of tell you what I think about where they are right now. I did write the power rankings, so I can tell you why I put them there, and then we'll move on to what we have coming up in the Overguard.
Yeah, so right off the bat, last rites 5-0, still at 5-0 from last week.
Yeah. So a lot of people are wondering why Last Rites is ahead of Invigorate, with Invigorate being 7-0 and Last Rites being 5-0. When Last Rites won our qualifying invitational tournament, the one that we had 2 weeks ago for Xbox, we had about 2 months ago for PlayStation. The initial prize was a spot in the league and the overall number one seed. It's a hypothetical seed; it doesn't actually exist. But when it comes to something like the power rankings, they haven't lost yet, so they can't lose that number one seed. Uh, just they're a team that hasn't really made changes. They have a formula that works. They stick to it. Really, really top tier DPS play out of their captain. It's Ryu and Defies. And then just the rest of the team is so good around them too. I know Intrinsic Design left mid-season. He wanted to form his own team, but they've picked up some good players around him, and they're a very good team. I'm really looking forward to our last week of the season. They actually play Invigorate, the team that we now see is.
Oh boy, yeah, that's going to be the game to be at right there.
Oh,
that's
absolutely.
where it's going to be lit.
Absolutely.
It's going to be lit.
That's going to be a great game because Invigorate's a team that really we didn't they had talent. They had very big names on them. We just didn't see them coming to this extreme. So that's going to be a match I'm really excited to see for sure.
Now,
Definitely.
Vital winning back-to-back against Royal and Rebel.
Yeah.
Blowing the expectations out a little bit right there.
Absolutely. Vital's a team that we knew was going to be good. And when I think they lost either their first or second match. And we were like, okay, pump the brakes. They're a good team, but, they're probably going to be somewhere around like the 5 or 6. But they haven't lost since. I mean, I think that's 7 in a row or 6 in a row. And they're at this point, not throwing shade to the people they've played, they're making it look easy. They were both 2-0s against Royal and Rebel. Honestly, didn't really ever come close to dropping a map.
I was gonna say I remember watching some of those games too, and just they were definitely coming for the win.
Yeah, they look good. They look right now. They look the strongest I think I've seen them play. I know they're scrimming basically every night. Captain Roddy's got his guys on all the time. Rezi on DPS, he's been playing a lot of other things lately, excelling. Cabron Williams on the tank has been doing great, and their supports are underrated, but they do such a good job. Primera Espada has been he's been having really quite the season on the Lucio for that team. I think he plays a little Mercy sometimes as well. Just an awesome job. The team in a whole has been doing great. So they picked up Patty Barrett, and he's been playing some Ana for them lately. Some really big pickups for them. They've been grinding to make sure the pickups work, and they've been doing an awesome job.
Nice. Now, what I'm really looking forward to is what Striatum lost to Rem. So it looks like we have two different paths. It looks like you said that they could go down with the 2 tough matches.
Yes, yeah. So Striatum has to play Vital, the team we were just talking about. Then they play Ascend. So Vital's at the 3, you see in the power rankings. Ascend's at the 6. Then they play Invigorate the 2. Lacerate the 1. And Poisonman's the 9. So, yeah, they have... But Striatum's a team... most people know them better as yours truly. And that's when they were winning, I think, 4 GB tournaments in a row. They have Evan Mario, who might be one of the biggest names on PlayStation. Great Pharah play out of him. I know he's been flexing onto some Genji on King of the Hill as well. I don't think he likes being labeled a Pharah main because he likes to be able to say he can flex on other stuff. But Evan, we know you're... Come on, stick to the Pharah.
Yeah,
buddy.
he's definitely the Pharah main.
He's very, very good at Pharah, like over the top good. So, but I mean, I could see them winning all of those games, or I could see them winning none of them, and that's not shade. But I'm just saying, like, those are all teams that are very, very good, and
they're bringing it all, or they're not bringing it at all, huh?
Right. So I just think that that they're they could pick up a few of them, they could win them all. It's anywhere in between. They could. Striatum's a team I'm really excited to see their last matches being played. Really excited to see where they finish, because they're great. They're great team. They're a team that hasn't made too many changes either. They've kind of stuck with it, which I think is going to pay off in the long run. So. And you see REM placed above them with 1 more loss. The main reason for that is REM beat Striatum in the head-to-head. So that tips them, in my eyes, as the better team. but I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of the season either one ended on top of the other. I think really in this 3, 4, 5, 6 spot, they could go anyway. Really,
Yeah.
maybe 4, 5, 6. Vital might have etched out the lead for now.
So it looks like the other week was a big week for Ascend then.
Yes.
Matches against One Mind and Rem.
Yeah. Ascend's got some work left to do, and they've played less matches than everyone else. It's just kind of been the scheduling has played against them. They've only played 5 matches, so it's hard to really rank them. Ascend's a great team. I don't think they've made a change in their starting lineup all
Yeah, I was
season.
going to say they were one of the first teams that when I joined the Overguard that I used to. I've seen them.
Yeah, I just don't think they've made any changes. I'm thinking to myself right now, I think they have the same lineup, and that's huge. That's so important. So I think that's a main. They scrim every night. I was saying about Vital earlier. Ascend might be double that. Those guys are always scrimming. So
Hey, that's the way to go, man. If you want to get that, get a skill up.
Absolutely. Then next, honestly, 7, 8, 9, even 10. You flip a coin at this point. I don't know who's going to finish where. Above average, the only thing about them is they lost so many matches early. I don't know if they can come back. But they're a very talented team. They're finally starting to click at the right time. It's just they might have dug the hole too deep. But Team Royal, One Mind, and Poison Bins, keep in mind our records show our standings have Poison Bins at 2 and 4, but they're actually 3 and 4. And One Mind, I believe, is 3 and 5. So it's
so they both can pull it back then.
Yeah. It's honestly going to be a coin flip between those 3 teams about who gets the 7th and 8th spot. Really looking forward to seeing the final bit of the season. And then to round it off, Rebel and Nebulous, both teams haven't won yet. Good teams nonetheless. I mean, you see them take maps off other teams in this league. It's not like they're bad teams. It's just the amount of competition in this league is
crazy. Yeah, the competition ranges very far for this.
Absolutely. It really does. So with that being said, I think we can put away the power rankings for now.
Okay.
We're up around 22 and a half minutes, so got about 7.5 minutes left. If we can try to wrap it up before the 30-minute mark, that'd be cool. I think we're doing all right. Thank you, everyone, for who has stuck out and listened to it. I hope you're enjoying it. Anyways, we're going to move on to this weekend's events. This is something that's going to kind of change weekly, obviously, because we're going to talk about what we have coming up for this weekend.
Exactly.
So this weekend, on Sunday, Mike and I are actually going to be holding with commentator Gozy, as you all know him. We're going to be holding the Xbox tournament. This is our last preseason tournament.
This is going to be exciting.
Yeah, Mike's going to be streaming, hopefully. You think you got it figured out where you'll be able to at least stream, right?
Oh, yeah. I'll definitely have a stream up. It's just a matter of how fancy.
Yeah, you cut out, but I think you said how fancy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, I'll definitely have the stream up. It's just how fancy the stream will be, let's say.
Cool. Yeah, I think we're really looking forward to that because I know the last tournament there was a lot of people that wanted to watch, and the way it was set up, it just wasn't really easy to stream. But this one, registration is going to end Friday, guys. Friday at let's go with noon Eastern time. So get me your teams before then. That means you have Wednesday, Thursday. You have 3 days to do it. Please get me those teams because then I'm going to have a bracket pumped out for you guys Friday night. You have all day Saturday to make sure your schedules work with that time. And then Sunday we're going to go because we're streaming we're going to try to stream every match. There might be a couple that get played off stream. But it's going to be much more set up like the first tournament we had. So I'm looking forward to that. And then we have league matches Friday through Sunday for the PlayStation side. Some huge matches tonight. Something I usually do is kind of point out some very hyped up matches that we have for the week. I honestly think you can look at Striatum versus Vital as a huge one.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely going to be a good one to watch.
Like, that's going to be a match between, 2 top teams. And they're all friends, too. So look for some friendly BM and banter, which is always fun, in my opinion.
Oh, it's always funny. Yeah, it's always funny to see.
Last Rites is going to be playing One Mind. One Mind's going to have that new roster, see if they can click, make it work. And then the Ascend versus REM match. Really looking forward to those. Um,
Yeah, I
and
want to see what REM how they're going to come out against Ascend, or at least other way around, I should say. I want to see how Ascend's going to come against REM.
exactly.
Yeah.
Um, I guess now we'll now that that's it for the this weekend. We can talk about some stuff that happened today in Overwatch. What Blizzard did
Yeah,
for us.
yeah, the Halloween event. Everyone was getting a little hyped for.
You got any skins yet?
All I have is a emote, I think, for the Reinhardt, him throwing up a pumpkin and smashing it with his hammer, and I think I got a voice line and a spray so far. That's about it.
Did you buy those or did you pull them?
Oh, I just got them from boxes. Got a few boxes so far. Playing that new brawl mode.
Yeah. Did you beat that on a on hard yet?
I got no, I haven't beat it on hard. I got pretty close on hard, but I beat it on medium like a tons of time. But I just needed like a good set of people to go in there with on hard.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been saving my coins forever, so I immediately went and bought the Junkrat skin. I think Junkrat's my favorite player to play in quick play, so went out there and got that Junkrat skin.
Yeah, that skin looks awesome too.
I think all the legendary skins look really good. They did a really cool job. So
I was happy you could buy them with coins now too. They
yeah,
you weren't able to do that with the summer games.
very overpriced, but it's still there.
Oh, of course. But I mean, yeah, it's still there though.
It's
You know,
still an option.
it's
Which
got to
is
be compensated for.
yeah. Makes sense. Um, and then there was some actual game mechanic changes. Widowmaker now zooms in from 0.5 to 0.33 seconds on her zoom in, the cooldown. Junkrat's tire, he gets it off ridiculously fast. I don't know if you've seen it, but
No, I haven't used it yet. I have seen that though. That they said they increased the time.
oh, it's kind of goofy looking how fast he does it. To be honest,
Oh, really?
yeah. And then there was some aim changes. Do you want to talk about that briefly? Do you kind of know how?
I'm pulling up the patch notes right now, but from what I remember, they changed what the default setting was for aim on cons. So the original aiming, when you went to go turn the thumbstick, it would just accelerate as at a faster pace the faster you turned. Now there's like a 10% radius around on the analog, so it will just follow your thumb as far as you push the analog instead of just accelerating. Once you go past that 10% radius, it starts to accelerate like normal. And they changed that to the default. So I don't think a lot of people know about that. That might be why your controls might feel a little off right now. It's meant for more precise aiming. But if you go into your settings, I know you can adjust it back to ramp. I think that's the setting that it's on. That's back to the normal default.
Yes, you can. You can go mess with all of it. And then some other. It really is. It's weird. It's different. I've tried playing on both. You can feel the difference. The aim assist is crazy right now. It's gonna take a lot of getting used to.
Yeah.
So another change that's really cool for the Overguard is our spectating. You can now in custom games you can now first of all pause. Second of all, in King of the Hill you can choose which map you get. So you can pick Ilios Well, for example, that's really cool. And you can
Yeah,
also,
that should be awesome.
can also set up static cameras, which is
I can't wait for this. This is something
yeah.
I cannot wait for. I love the spectating mode with cameras, so can't wait to get my hands on that.
Yeah, I think once we're gonna get Vegas trained a little bit, get them comfortable, and you can expect some really cool camera angles in league matches moving forward. I think that basically wraps up the patch.
Yeah, there were small character buffs in here and there, but nothing too significant.
True. I think Anna got a kind of a nerf buff where her ult charges a little bit slower, but her grenade has a bigger radius.
Yes, yeah. Her cost was increased by 20%, and her radius was increased from 3 to 4 on her grenade.
Yeah. So there was some minor changes, but as far as the big ones, I think we basically hit them on the head.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you for. I think we can wrap it up now. Thank you for sticking around this whole time. If you did, leave us some feedback on what you want to hear, who you want to hear from, what topics you want to hear more of, and also potentially if you're interested in seeing some video footage in the background, we could get some of Mike's excellent Reinhardt playing comp in the background, so we can make these into a YouTube video. This one's going to be on SoundCloud. You know this by now if you're listening to it because it's already uploaded. We might keep them on SoundCloud and then also make YouTube videos for them if you're interested in seeing a video. I don't know how you guys like listening to your podcasts, so leave us some feedback, and we're definitely going to listen to it because we don't really know what we're doing either.
Yeah, definitely let us know what you guys want to see, especially if you guys want to with the podcast. Like I saw some people express interest before and sending some clips in or something like that in the background to watch. So just definitely let us know what you guys are looking for.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't say what we're going to be doing is at Stry Adams level. We're not going to be editing any clips. But if you send us,
nothing like them. Those guys know what they're doing.
But if you send us a 15-minute video of you playing King of the Hill in comp and you go off as Genji or whatever, we would probably slap that in the background. So, just feedback, guys. The more feedback, the better. I think with that being said, we can get out of here, Mike. So thank you guys. I appreciate it again.
Guess we'll see you next time.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. See you guys.